Beating the odds, week 16. We got 3 weeks to go. Another bad one. I'm still going 2-1 every week, so follow my picks. And guys, let's pick it up. 85 and 95 on the year, our worst year in 3 years, worst year ever. Still 234 and 204 all time. So if you've been following from day one, you're still up money. We're going to finish strong and end 500. Let's get this going. I'm going to start with my picks first here. I got 3 props for you. There is 2 games on Saturday, so we're going to release this on Friday, a day early, so you can get those bets in. First bet, Saturday game, Tank Dell against the Chiefs, over 36.5 receiving yards. That is a criminally low number. He's also been trash. Do you guys remember when Tank Dell used to be good at football? I do. And he started out the year okay. It's just been bad. I think he has 2 catches the last 2 weeks. But against the Chiefs, I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball very well. Tank Dell can get this in one play. I love his alt number. I say it all the time. His alt number, I bet it up to 80 yards. You get a little 5-1 action. Nice. Second play, Jaden Daniels, over 40.5 rushing yards against the Eagles. Zach Ertz is out. They're missing Noah Brown. A couple safety blankets aren't there. He leads right now he's on pace to break the record for quarterback scrambles in a season. He hasn't been running as much the last 4 weeks because of that rib injury, but he's been starting to recently. I think he's finally healthy. 40.5 is nothing for him. Last play. This is kind of going off my DK Metcalf bets that have both lost the last 2 weeks. The only bets I've lost. Marvin Harrison Jr., over 51.5 receiving yards. He's been awful. He's been a bust. I'm sure he's hearing the noise that he is not good. I mean, Ladd McConkey's looking better than him. I still believe in the player. Kyler's been bad, honestly. It's more on Kyler. But I love this against the Vikings. Again, you cannot run against the Vikings. I expect the Vikings to come out early to a lead. Marvin Harrison has still been averaging 7 targets a game. I see him getting 8 or 9 targets in this game. If he cannot turn that into 52 yards, then I will do this pod next week without my pants on. My shirt will still be on. Let's hit the phones. Thank you.
Hey, Rob. Mike Story. Beating the odds, week 16. Sorry I couldn't call in last week, but I got 3 picks for you this week. They're all props this week. I'm shaking it up a little bit, so let's dive in. First of all, I'm going Brian Thomas Jr., over 71.5 receiving yards, minus 120 on Draftkings. For the Jaguars, since Mac Jones took over as a starting quarterback for Jacksonville, one thing has been truly consistent. Brian Thomas Jr. has been peppered with targets. He's got 14, 12, 10, and 7 targets going back to week 12. Over those 4 games, he's at just under 11 targets at 87 yards per game. Brian Thomas Jr. was an excellent prospect at LSU, whose draft day value was overshadowed by the hype for Marvin Harrison and rightly Malik Neighbors. Now the rookie's coming in his own late in the season, and this week's matchup with the Raiders should not slow these numbers down. Las Vegas is 22nd in defensive passing DVOA and 24th in overall defensive DVOA, and possibly playing for the first overall pick in next year's draft. Next, I'm going with James Conner, 80-plus rushing yards, minus 115, also on DraftKings. Look for the 80-plus because his over-under is 80.5, so we're going with 80-plus. That's at minus 115. Carolina has struggled to stop the run all season, and I do not see how that changes here. Arizona was most effective when they run to set up the pass and hide Kyler Murray's inefficiencies. All of this lines up for a big game from James Conner. Last week, Rico Dowdle went for 6 yards per carry against this Carolina defense. Conner should have very similar success. I'm going with 80-plus and laddering up to 100-plus rushing yards. And Mari DeMarcado's banged up, as is the rookie Trey Benson. There's nobody to spell Conner. It's going to be his day, and he should run it all over the Carolina Panthers. Finally, this one I love. Jump on it now because it's going higher than 80. But right now you can get Mike Evans over 75.5 receiving yards at minus 120 on DraftKings. Since he returned from injury, Mike Evans has absolutely dominated the Bucs receiving game, much to the dismay of Cade Otton managers in fantasy, such as myself. But he's logging a team-high 28% target share. That's 4.18 targets per route run. That also leads the team. Over the last month, the Cowboys have deployed a single high coverage at the 12th highest rate in the league, which is 57%. Evans has dominated single high, posting team highs in target rate 31%, targets per route run 40%, and yards per route run at 4.8. He also accounts for nearly 50% of the team's receiving yards versus single high coverage since week 12. That's an insane number. Mike Evans needs just 251 receiving yards over the final 3 weeks of the season to keep his consecutive 1,000-yard streak alive. Narrative coming, but when asked about Evans' 1,000-yard streak, Baker Mayfield said, quote, "I'm thinking about it more than Mike is, trying to get him the ball somehow. some way to Evans, but not forcing it, end quote. To me, this sounds like a veteran quarterback who wants to get his top target, a career milestone, take over 75.5 receiving yards for Mike Evans. That's it for me. Good luck this week. Let's make some money.
What's up, everybody? Joe here. Another week of NFL football. Life is good. Christmas is right around the corner. Going to try to get back in the win column for you here. Going to try to pop off a 3-0. I know I say it every week. I don't think I've done it yet this year, but, it's the first time for everything. So this is the week. You better ride these picks hard. And I'm going to break the rules. Sorry, Rob, I'm doing it. I'm breaking the rules. I'm going with the bet that's minus 125 because it's simply irresistible. Najee Harris over 13.5 rushing attempts. I think that number is so very low. He's going to get over 13.5 rush attempts. It's minus 125. It's right there within the limits of the minus 120 that we set, but I'm going to slam this one hard. Najee Harris over 13.5 rushing attempts. Guaranteed winner. You heard it here first. Moving on to go 2-0. We're going to go Jameson Williams against the Bears over 48.5 receiving yards. The Bears are absolutely pathetic. Their season is done. They have given up. The defense is horrible. It's taken a turn for the worse. Jameson Williams can get this in one play. He will go over 48.5 receiving yards this weekend against the Bears. To cap it off, to go 3-0, we're going to do a two-team teaser. There was not any alternate line spreads out there quite yet. It could possibly be better if you look at the alt spreads when they come out, but I'm rolling two-team 6-point teaser. Buffalo Bills at home. They've been on fire, -8, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are looking great. Mike Evans is popping off. They're going to be +2 at the Cowboys. Winner, 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 chicken dinner. It's time to go 3-0. It's time to get back in the win column. Let's go!
Okay, here we go with our Week 16. Turn things around. 4 plays. Start with a prop. Going with Joe Mixon over rushing yards over 60. Chiefs have actually been gashed on the ground. Joe Mixon has pretty much hit this number in 7 of his 11 games. He's topped 100 rushing yards, and we're getting 60 here. And the Chiefs have been gashed for the 3rd highest yards per carry, 5.32 for the past 3 weeks. I just think he's going to top that number fairly easily. So that's play 1. I'm going to go with the second play here is going to be Minnesota, Seattle under 42.5. And third play, the 49ers -1 over the Dolphins on the road. Dolphins defense is dreadful, and the Niners need the win, and I think they're going to get it. Last and final play here. Going to go with Jacksonville versus the Raiders. We're going to go with the over 40.5. Bad defenses. Time to shine for these two offenses. Sloppy game, but I believe it goes over. Good luck, and see you Week 17.
Thank you, gentlemen. Joe, always bringing the energy. Let's make some money, and let's keep on beating the odds.
We're beating the odds. We're beating the odds. We're beating